What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out. This is my Damas. Like and subscribe. So, today, I wanted to talk about, one, how these journalists are reporting on the Sony raising the price, right? And the other one, I'll think about because I can't remember right now. But first, the journalists, most of them, there's been one, I think there was one that I don't remember who it was, but it was one that literally said everywhere except for the US, right? Everyone else says several regions across the globe. Now, while that is not untrue, it is not exactly accurate. The accurate thing to say would be all regions except the US. There's only one place on the planet that they didn't raise the price, and that's the US. I don't want these journalists to sugarcoat or read the copy that Sony sent because it makes them sound better. No, that's not how it works. You need to be truthful and all that stuff. Another thing I was going to talk about real quick is that Sony's raising the price. And it coincides with them releasing a new version of the PlayStation 5 that is lighter. They sucked off some more grams probably from the heatsink, the big ass heatsink that was way too big to begin with, because they wanted it to be whisper quiet like the Xbox. But now they're like, you know what, jet engines, let's go. So they're gonna have the new PS5s are gonna be like, wow, they're gonna be screaming. They're gonna be like, welcome to LAX, and please put your tray tables upright position. That's what the new PlayStation 5s will sound like, because they taking the heatsink out and they overclocking it. It's gonna be hot. Maybe they shrunk the die a little bit. Still, it's lighter, it's cheaper to produce, and they are still charging more. Yes, the prices of the parts went up, but also you're saving money. So it should have kind of evened out a little bit. But no, they still gonna charge you more. Man, so I told y'all, this ain't the same Sony. I told you Ponies, I told you Donkey Coins, this ain't the same Sony. I watched a little clip of MBG talking about, oh my gosh, they want everyone to play the games and blah, blah. I'm like, can I reach through the internet and smack this fool real quick? I mean, he's got muscles, but I got hands. Come on, let's go, because it doesn't make sense. All these ponies are floundering. Sony scared Sony, all these crazy ponies. I don't know, seems like a song in the works, right? But it's ridiculous. Sony is like, they lost their damn minds. I literally, in my comments, it was hilarious, and I want to find the person who actually made the comment, but they had a conspiracy theory that the West was trying to take over and sabotage Sony. And I was like, wait, what? The West is trying to sabotage? How? It's like, oh, Jim Ryan, he's a Westerner. He's from Europe. So they hate Japan. They trying to sabotage and ruin Sony because of the West. Jim Ryan and Microsoft are in cahoots, and this is what's going on. And I was laughing, and then I was like, I mean, you know, and then I was like, nah, Jim Ryan is just like Don Matrick. They went to the same school. They went to Trump University or something. This is how you make the monies, and that's what happened. You know, they got degrees. I guess Trump photocopies. He used the ditto sheet, and you gotta save money. That's how you make money. You save money, you make money. That's how it works. Just take it from me. I graduated from Trump University. Anyway, yeah. So it's like, it wasn't bad enough that Sony was cutting prices everywhere except for the US, which slaps everybody across the world in the face with the penis, maybe. But then it comes out, I think today or like yesterday, that they're literally revising the PlayStation 5 to make it cheaper for them to produce, and they're charging more. Oh my god! I was like, wow. You know what? I'm just waiting for some more bad news. It's just the bad news train never ends. It's like, gimme. And it's like the currency right now on on the internets right now. You got Oh No, It's Alex. You got, you know, Turboverse TV. You got all these cats that were making fun of ponies and donkey unicorns. I was thinking for a second to maybe do that too, but you know what? I'm not going to tread in their territory. Maybe I'll dip in some of them, like MGB or maybe Crap Gamer or something like that, you know, because he's a floppity flip-flop pancake boy. But you know, yeah, that's not my thing. I just like talking about, you know, video games and stuff. Technically, I don't like talking shite to people or about people unless they talk shite to me first. So if you know, maybe I'll start some stuff on Twitter. Who knows? Maybe I'll talk to Zaire. Yo, what's up, Z? No, I'm just playing. But maybe I will. Maybe I'm not. Anyway, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's a joyous time to be a gamer, and you know, past this whole price increase and they're changing how they're doing business in a bad way right now. And I'm waiting to see when the next PlayStation revision comes out. Meaning, not the PlayStation. Oh my gosh! Move out of the way. Jesus Christ! Oh my gosh! This is why. Okay. Somebody must have crashed. Anyway, I'll wait in traffic. So the revisions. Now, when I say revision, not what they just put out or are putting out in September. The lighter PlayStation 5, which costs more. I'm talking about the PlayStation 5 Slim and or the PlayStation 5 Pro, which are both inevitable. Okay, it behooves them to do those because it will cost them less money to produce, and you know that's part of the business model that they are still stuck in because they are dependent on hardware sales and hardware revisions to keep the brand fresh and blah 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 blah, you know, all those things. So I'm curious, like what do you guys think? When is the new PlayStation 5 Slim/Pro? I would say Slim will come out first and then a Pro maybe. So when are those coming out? I would say 2025, fall 2025. Either, yeah, I'm gonna say, okay, earliest spring 2024, but more likely fall 2025. That's what I say, because the pandemic and all the blah blah blah, economic blah blah blah, you know, the excuses Sony uses, has extended this generation. This generation may be the longest generation, even longer than the Xbox One generation, the Xbox One, PlayStation 4 generation, not because of that adoption of the mid-gen console refresh, but because of the pandemic that kind of put a 2-year buffer on everything. And that's not just hardware, it was the studios making games, and then all these acquisitions as well. They acquired studios, so it's like, oh yeah, all these games are coming. No, they're not coming out because everything was still delayed. So they got a lot of, I mean, like Microsoft and Sony acquired a lot of new studios, new people, new teams to make more content, because this is a content war actually. But like I said, that 2-year gap, you have to add 2 years. So literally the consoles just came out this year, if you want to do it that way. 2022 consoles just came out. So if it's a 7 to 8 year, we're looking at 2030 for the next console generation, depending. I would say if there is a mid-gen generation kind of revision for at least the Xbox. I don't know what PlayStation doing. They're on their own page, but Xbox, I believe, they're looking at what AMD is doing, and I think it was yesterday, Lisa Su was out there, and they went through the Ryzen 7 and then the AM5 socket and all the new stuff that they're coming out with, and they had the integrated graphics, which is basically APU, which is basically what are in these consoles. And the new one has RDNA 2 built in, plus, you know, whatever 16 core, 32 core, 64 threads, or I think that was the 7950X or something was the premier chip. I think that's what it was, 3264. Or it might have been 64 128. No, I don't know if it was that, but it's a super dope fast chip. I think they claim the fastest chip ever. I know we're going into, but this is relevant to the video games as well. So they say it's the fastest chip, 5.7 gigs on turbo. And I'm like, okay. So, all these things are important because a variation of that chip, well, I wouldn't say that chip per se because that chip is, I think it's like $700 or something retail. So, if Microsoft wanted to be ballsy and say, yo, we making the high-end console real quick, they could do that. They could put the most powerful APU. The AMD would, they would obviously do their own custom chip, but it would be based off of one of those architectures. Take it from the highest one. Take 32 core, 64 threads, you know what I mean? Imagine that. Plus, you got to have the RAM for that, so it's got to be like a 64 RAM, for the console. I mean, that would be crazy expensive. That would be over $1,000 for a console like that. So it doesn't make sense in the consumer market to do that. But they can because of how their business is structured. Their business is structured around Game Pass. It's not structured around the reliance of them selling a console. The console doesn't have to be massively accepted and adopted by the public. Game Pass does. You can play Game Pass on anything. They can come up with an Xbox Series XZ, the next Xbox Series Z or whatever it's called. It could be a little bit more powerful than the Xbox Series X. Same price, let's just say, because of, a new generation of hardware. Maybe a little bit smaller because they shrink the dies and all that stuff. And it's all the same because it's all Game Pass. And they're doing this backwards compatible kind of ecosystem so that I can still play most of the games on the Xbox One X that I still have. I went to Walmart the other day. They got like 5 or 6 Xbox Series S's, and they had one Xbox Series X in the case. And I'm like, I could buy it right now. I literally have the money to buy it right now. I will not buy it right now because I am a responsible individual these days. And I look at myself and I say, well, there's some things I need to take care of first, so I won't do that. So, all you people out there, legend, making fun of me because I don't have a current gen console. I am waiting. And also, I want to see if they're actually going to revise. I mean, I know they said they wouldn't, and they have no need to, Xbox, to revise their consoles, but I am kind of waiting to see if they will. And also I'm waiting for the actual time when I actually need a new console, which is Starfield. I'm waiting for Starfield. So I still have about 6 months or so to kind of meander and to wait and to, kind of see what the market's doing, see what they're doing with the hardware, and see where I am at in life. Anyway, but yeah, so sorry for the tangent, but that's, from Sony to Xbox, this is a crazy generation. I love it because, we're getting good stuff. We're getting all these studio acquisitions on both sides, more so on Microsoft's side because it evens the playing field. It gives Microsoft like banger exclusives in the pipeline. And anybody who keeps yelling that narrative about, Sony's got these exclusives, is way better. Phil Spencer can't manage these studios, blah, blah, blah. I would say just wait and see. And, you can say the same thing about Sony. Sony can't manage Polyphony Digital. They've never been able to manage Polyphony Digital because they're on auto drive. They're on cruise control. Don't pardon the pun. They're on cruise control because they come out with garbage trash. It's like, yeah, look at the cinematic. The replays are beautiful. I'm like, yeah. And then you look at the gameplay. I'm like, what is this, PS3? What are we playing right now? Why is this game hot garbage? And I'm looking over at Forza Horizon Hot Wheels, and I picked it up. I played it once, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just happy to support the devs. Isn't that a line that the Ponies use? I'm happy to support the devs. I will give you my $17.50. I think that's how much it costs because you get a discount when you're on Game Pass. It's $19.99, but you get that discount. So I was like, whatever. It's beyond. Let's go. I played it once. I played it into the intro, and then it was like, okay, you gotta do all these races to level up. And I was like, I'll do this later. But that's just like, I want to have some mindless fun. Let's go race. Let's go Hot Wheels. When you went down to the volcano and the magna strips, I was like, yo, this is way better than the first Hot Wheels expansion they did. And Gran Turismo can kick rocks all the way down to wherever racetrack you want to name, because they got no chance. Gran Turismo has no chance against Forza. Either version, even Forza Motorsport, which I don't really play that much. I'll play it, I'll dip into it a little bit because it's pretty, but I'm less of a sim, more of an arcade racer, right? But I can appreciate what they've done with Forza Motorsport, because how it feels to drive those cars, and the music and the atmosphere, and how they've improved the graphics and the tracks and all that stuff is it's pretty nice. If I were to be into Sims, that would be the one I want, because it's not just about the handling and all the physics and all these things, even though they've improved those, to 29 million fold, whatever it is. It's about how you feel when you drive. And that's what they have nailed for ever since, I would say, Forza 5. Forza Motorsports 5 is when the jump. I would say 4 was like, wait, something's changing. Like 1 and 2 are like, okay, keep trying. 3 was like, what's this? 4 was like, huh? Then 5 was like, yup, let's go. 5 was like, yep, y'all did it. A lot of it is music too. They put the right music on the demo. I was like, yo, I feel this for real. I feel it. So yeah, GT7 got no chance. Sony has lost the crown as far as that goes. That was one of their biggest franchises. One of the talking points that the Ponies would use, like, oh, Gran Turismo, the greatest selling racing game of the world. All these unit sales. You can't use that no more. That's not what video games is. That's not what the business is about anymore. It hasn't been about that for a minute. But y'all hanging on, clanging on like the little kitten, on the branch saying meow. Nah, it's over, B. It's over. The Xbox is just killing it. They're killing it this gen. They're killing y'all softly and slowly. Softly and slowly. They're killing you softly. They're killing you slowly. And I'm gonna be there carrying your casket. Anyway, I appreciate y'all hanging out. Y'all like and subscribe. Hit up the comments. You know how I do. I still am a little bit behind on the comments, but I will get to them. I will try to comment with everybody, if I have something to say relevant. If I don't, I'll give you the boop, because I appreciate all of y'all. And I'll see y'all on the next one.